table?
You know, I'm turning 30 tomorrow. Did you know that?
Well, happy birthday. You know, I was just thinking you don't look a day over 25.
Liar. I don't know, I've just been feeling very stuck lately. You know, I cannot remember the last time I was surprised by anything. Can you?
The last time I was surprised was by you. Well, you know what I mean. I'm just surprised that we're able to stay good friends.
I've been thinking about moving. Maybe Phoenix. I've got an old college friend that lives down there, and she says it's nice. I think the change would do me good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you'll love it down there, 'cause there's square dancing and 10-gallon hats and armadillo hunting.
And macho yokels with names like Tex.
Okay, that's yours.
So tell me, what do you think? You think I should go or not?
Well, you know, Arizona may seem like a much more exciting place than San Francisco, but it's dangerous down there. At least around here, you got your friends checking out for you.
It's dangerous everywhere. I mean, especially here. I mean, did you hear about that co-ed? Someone murdered her in her own bedroom.
I didn't hear about that. Who killed her?
Well, the newspaper said it might be a serial killer. They gave him some kind of crazy name. I don't know, I can't remember what they called him.
Doesn't that stuff scare you? I mean, I'm a tough guy, and it scares me.
I appreciate your concern, Tex, but I have been fine on my own for a long time. Looks like the rain's letting up. I'm going home.
Got a big date?
Oh, yeah. Cary Grant and a pint of Haagen-Dazs. Hold me down. See you later.
What a schmuck.
What?
Chelsea was giving you opportunities all evening and you blew every one of them. The son PA you are. Well, you wouldn't know a clue if it walked up and punched you in the face.
Listen, all I know is, every time I try and ask her out, she turns me down.
It's from the distinguished gentleman in the corner.
You bought me a drink?
He bought you a bourbon.
Oh, good evening, good evening. Gordon Fitzpatrick is my name. Please sit down, sir. You know, I am not in the habit of eavesdropping, but I do believe I heard someone say that you were a private detective.
That's right. I'm a licensed private investigator.
Oh, delightful. It's a pleasure indeed to meet you. And your name?
Murphy. Tex Murphy.
Tex Murphy. Well. This is fine. Now listen, let me ask you this, Mr. Tex Murphy. Have you in your work ever had the occasion to seek for a missing person?
Sure. I can do that.
Well, then perhaps we could do some business.
I think we can work something out. My office is just around the corner, the Ritz Hotel.
Why don't we go there? I like your office. Oh, yes, the ambiance is very authentic. Reminds me of those, those old detective stories that I used to watch when I was a kid, I'm sure that at any moment Sam Spade is going to come marching through that door. But then who needs Sam Spade when I've got Tex Murphy standing in front of me? Did you always want to be a private eye?
As far back as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have a seat, Mr.
Thank you.
Fitzpatrick? Yeah? While all the other kids were logged on to Sesame Street Interactive, I was reading Hammett and Chandler.
It must be quite an exciting life.
Oh, it's got its moments. Don't get me wrong, it's not like the movies. It sure as hell doesn't pay very well. But it suits me. So what can I do for you, Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Well, I'm trying to find an old acquaintance of mine, Thomas Malloy, Dr. Thomas Malloy. The last official address for him that I have is the Ritz Hotel. Now, do you happen to know him?
Can't say that I do.
Well, it's very important that I find him. You know, let me give you a little background. For many years, I was a research scientist and I worked alongside Dr. Malloy. But about 20 years ago, maybe, I guess something like that, our paths diverged and I lost touch with him and he with me. And then very recently, I saw a photograph of him in a local newspaper. Now, it's a strange thing how time is such a natural equalizer, makes us appreciate the faces from one's past. At any rate, the older gentleman in that photograph is Dr. Malloy. And I contacted the newspaper to find out where the photograph had been taken. It was at the San Francisco Technical University. Well, I hiked right out there, got to the campus, and decided to look the man up and surprise him. Even with that photograph, no one recognized him, no one knew his name. But then I received a strange phone call from a young woman named Sandra. The man I knew as Thomas Malloy, she knew as Tyson Matthews. She seemed quite uncomfortable talking on the vid phone, so I suggested we meet. She never showed up for that appointment.
You never heard from her again?
You know, it's strange. But this simple, whimsical wish of mine to get together with my old friend has materialized into, I don't know, I feel a sense of impending doom. I fear for the young woman, and I fear for my friend, Dr. Malloy.
It sounds interesting. I think I can look into this for you.
Thank you. Now, you'll have to refresh my memory. How much is your fee? How does it work?
I charge $500 a day.
Of course.
Plus expenses.
Naturally. There, that should be enough to get you started. And here somewhere, there you go. I could be reached at that number.
I'll be in touch.
I feel we're off to a good start.
All right, Mr. Fitzpatrick. This is the first cash I've had in months. $4,000. I owe Louis $200, and Rook says I owe him $300. But there should be plenty left over. Yes, sir. Things are definitely looking up. Fitzpatrick didn't give me much to go on. Just the newspaper photo of Malloy and the fact that Malloy stayed here at the Ritz. And there's that girl Fitzpatrick referred to, Sandra. Maybe I can track her down. First I need to find out which apartment Malloy was staying in, then get into it. That means I gotta deal with Nilo, my landlord. It's the second week of April, and I'm a little late on my February rent payment. So Fitzpatrick's staying at the Savoy. Guess I can call him on my vid phone if I need to talk with him. My trusty electronic shop credit card. Space Girl Doris. With your own form-fitting airsuit and come-hither smile, I still dream of you and a lunar landing. It's my own little attempt at creative horticulture. These are designer lights, as if there were any doubt. The downy fresh hub of my swinging bachelor pad. The headboard keeps me from hitting my skull on the wall. Amazingly, I made this horse out of a single coat hanger. I think that's a ceramic dog. It's a small miniature camel. This is some sort of cool thing. I won this athletic supporter trophy in high school. I was the best third-string punter in the state. I'm currently reading The Maltese Fruitcake. The family's been passing it around for years. My parents found this in the attic and sent it to me. I remember the pastoral days of my early youth, riding on my trusty Mount Striper, chasing bank robbers and horse thieves. And all that came to an end one summer afternoon during an electrical storm. The lightning struck a transformer near our home, creating a tremendous power surge. It was after the accident that my brothers and sisters started calling me Tex. Whenever I asked them, they'd just laugh and wink at each other. I never did find out about that nickname. My parents I'll pick up these clothes next time I'm expecting someone else in my bedroom. Yeah, fat chance of that. I'll pick up these clothes next time. Amazingly enough, this space-age cabinet came folded into a packet the size of a Triscuit. I'll pick up the... Soap on a rope. Grandpa Murphy buys this for all the grandkids every Christmas. This is where I shave my face once a month, come rain or shine. This is the certificate and a copy of the check the Mutant League gave me after my last case. I used the cash to expand my office, buy some furniture, and pay off my debts. That left me with $4.12. The guy who sold me this hormonotron said it would make women obsolete in my life, but I can't get it to work. This door connects to my rec room. This door leads downstairs. That's the way back to my office. It's another beautiful night in the city I love. My favorite vase. I cut this article about Mac Malden out of the newspaper. Gives me a good chuckle. I cut this thing out of the paper a few days ago. I've known Mac Malden for years. We've worked together on several cases, but I don't know if we're actually friends. We just help each other out occasionally. I call this painting Bleak Landscape. This painting epitomizes my view of women as a gender. No matter how many lights I have in a room, there's always space for another lamp. This photo was taken at the last family reunion I attended. Has it really been 18 years? This is half of my special Space Pirate Salt and Pepper set. Oh, I tear up just a little bit every time I look at this empty bottle of Irish whiskey. This is just a bunch of stuff. A handful of Agatha Christie novels and my secret Aladdin lamp. I'm not planning on dusting that baby until I'm ready to retire. A handful of Agatha Christie novels and a handful of Agatha... A handful... This is just a bunch of stuff. This is just a bunch... A handful of Agatha Christie novels. I'm gonna start using this thing just as soon as I get in shape. This barbell would provide a great workout if it weren't so darn heavy. Oh, it's one of my favorites. Bear in a trench coat. A reproduction of Fish and Fruit by the mutant surrealistic Saul Dooley. This is a big photo of two horses. Why I have it and why it's actually hanging on my wall, I have no idea. Most of these computer components were purchased at a yard sale. The only one I've been able to get running is the little laptop on the shelf in front of the chair. Most of these That's the only computer in the office that works. Most of these computer components were... This chair just didn't make the cut when I refurbished my office. This alien landscape reminds me of the old Star Trek episode where they get that distress call, then Captain Kirk meets that beautiful woman, then he and Spock barely escape, then Kirk makes that funny joke right at the end. Nothing kills these plants, and I ought to know. This is the only pot I allow in my office. This is a breathtaking view of Saturn from the imaginary planet Alpha 19. This painting always reminds me of something. I'm not sure what. I got this from my grandpa, Audie Murphy. It was signed by Richie Havens. Grandpa said he was the original singing detective. I haven't played my phonograph since it destroyed the A-side on my Bill Shatner Sings the Blues LP. A collection of my favorite poetry books. Someday, I'm gonna read every single one of them. That's my prized collection of triples. This is an anatomically correct carving of my first pet, Barky. This little gem cost me 120 Llama cigarette coupons, but I think it's well worth it. The watercolor plate is a lovely reminder of my favorite high school art class. This wooden duck represents my ongoing commitment to wildlife preservation. These Gumby figures took third place in my 7th grade sculpting class. This is a pretty rock I found when I was 9. Taco Bob. Got the most stylish placemats in town. This hot plate will come in handy if I eat anything other than saltines and dog food again. Eat the rich dog food. A little gamey, but not bad for the price. I've had this jackknife ever since my Weeblos days. Rusty the Clown's Fun Book. The only pop-up book in existence with a must-be 18 years or older sticker. I picked this book up at Rook's for $25. It's worth every penny. The scanner brings back some truly fond memories. Wonder how Trixie's doing. Took me forever to get this diploma. I had to send in 100 proofs of purchase from True Detective. Couple more cases and I'll have this thing paid for. Then I'll start paying off my student loans. The guy who sold me this said it just might be an unsigned Picasso. It better be, because I paid $30. These drawers contain more worthless stuff than a Walmart bargain bin. The 60-day warranty just ran out on my electronic shop fax machine. Should break down any minute now. These drawers contain more worthless stuff than a Walmart bargain bin. These drawers contain more worthless stuff. These drawers contain. These drawers contain. This picture was taken of my ex-wife on her 25th birthday. Yeah, she was gorgeous. Makes me wonder sometimes why we couldn't make it work. My new vid phone is essential to my business. Thank goodness it's easy to operate. I borrowed this magazine on my last trip to the dentist. I've always been crazy for the Miracle Nails model. Ritual Virility is a guide to scoring with women. Step number 1, get rich. One of these days, I'm gonna realize my dream of opening a spelunking shop in the Utah desert. Guilty as heck, the gripping saga of Lance Knight, the soft-boiled PI. Between my wedding ring and this picture of my ex-wife Sylvia, I will never, ever forget that women are alien creatures capable of great destruction. That's a New York Times bestseller, Men Are Imbeciles, Women Are Erratic. My mom sent this to help me with my love life. I've read the first chapter and I think the author's a hermaphrodite. No one sits in this chair but yours truly. Another bill from the electronics shop. I can't believe they expect me to pay for the junk they sell. Nothing interesting here. Took me 3 days of hard work to empty this drawer out. I really need to find some stuff to put in here. These drawers are the holding area for stuff that's about to be tossed out in the trash. This picture was taken of my ex-wife on her 25th birthday. That's my Jane Mansfield coloring book and the Inspector Poirot mask I used last Halloween. That's my Jane Mansfield. It's taken me years to fill up these drawers. I really need to find another can of Eat the Rich dog food. My knife used to have all the cool attachments. Now everything's busted off except the pliers and the standard screwdriver head. Chandler Avenue recently got a city-funded cleanup. Now the street's darn near clean enough to eat off. This baby's brand new. I had to replace the old one after the, incident. Lord, what a horrible memory. I should probably stop by the newsstand and see if Chelsea's upset with me about last night. I've been trying to get her to go out with me for years now, and just when I think I might be getting somewhere, I stick my big foot in my mouth. Well, now I got some money, and maybe she'll give me another chance to let me take her out to dinner. The only thing in this neighborhood that's tackier than that marquee is Clint's toupee. Looks like Chelsea's ready for business today.
Hi, Tex.
Hey, I'm sorry about last night.
Is that so? Why?
Playing hard to get, huh? Okay, I'll play your little game.
I'm not in the mood, Tex. You know, this is not a game to me. I have a lot of big decisions to make, and maybe I need to get away to make them.
Hey, everybody needs some space sometimes. Go if you have to, but I'll be waiting when you get back.
Thanks, Tex. I'll keep that in mind. So, I heard you picked up a case last night. Is there anything I can do to help? The name doesn't ring a bell. Nilo's a scum. There was a single mother who stayed at the Ritz before you moved in, and when she lost her job, Nilo kicked her out onto the street. I don't know how he stands himself. Rook's getting up there, but he's still sharp as a tack. He always tells me that I wouldn't stand a chance if he was 20 years younger. Louis' such a nice man. He's always been there for me whenever I needed someone to cry on. I don't know anyone by that name. I think you might be asking the wrong person. I've just read his name in the paper. The name doesn't ring a bell. She's a singer at the Fuchsia Flamingo. Good voice. Kind of trampy, though. I don't know anyone by that name. How would I describe myself? Let's see. Self-employed, moderately attractive, unattached but hopeful, kind of like you, except a lot younger. I've always thought you were quite attractive. Of course, I've always been known to confuse attraction with sympathy.
Man, Chelsea's sure not her usual cheery self today. Something tells me my window of opportunity with her is closing fast. If I'm gonna get her to go out with me, I better keep pouring on the charm till she gives in. Rusty the Clown used to own this place, then he mysteriously disappeared. In my last case, I found his body hidden in the back. Cops came in a few weeks ago and carried out Rusty's remains and locked everything up. This place has been locked up for months. Ritz Hotel. It's not much, but it's better than... well, it's no worse than a dumpster. I don't know how Chelsea makes a living running the newsstand. Most of her customers are like me.
What's going on?
Well, I got a bunch of cash, but I've got nothing to do with it. I figured I'd go out to dinner tonight, but I hate to eat alone. Are you interested?
What, like a date?
Well, sure, dinner, a movie, maybe a trip up to my swinging bachelor pad for some strip parcheesi.
Gee, Tex, sometimes you are so sexy. Let's change the subject before I get too excited. You're not here to ask me out again, are you?
Well, I got a bunch of cash.
What, like a date?
No, it'd be more like two friends having a great meal and maybe some stimulating conversation.
I guess that'd be okay. I mean, yeah, that'd be all right. Tex, I haven't really been myself lately, and I really appreciate you looking out for me.
Where should we go? How about Burger Barn? They got great atmosphere at half the price.
I've got a better idea. Why don't you let me make you dinner at my place? It's cheaper than going out. And besides, I have something I'd like to talk to you about. Let's say 8 o'clock?
Well, you talked me into it, Miss Bell.
Well, I feel so spoiled.
By the way, what should I bring, red or white?
You better bring both.
Finally. After years of relentless pursuit, Chelsea's inviting me over to her apartment for dinner. Oh man, the possibilities are making me woozy. Okay, snap out of it, Murphy, and let's get back to work here. Maybe I should head over to the Ritz and see if Nilo's at the front desk. I'm sure he'll be happy to see me. Rusty's front door is sealed off with a cop lock. There's no way I can get in without unlocking it. Looks like the cops put one of their computerized locks on the door. Look. The Fuchsia Flamingo certainly has the nicest doors on the street. Someone bought the old Bijou Theater and turned it into the Fuchsia Flamingo. Oh, the Coco Cabana. I heard that Clint, the local chocolate junkie, opened some kind of business up at Coit Tower. A sermon on the joys of not eating meat, to be delivered by Reverend Gary. Okay. This gate opens up to the alley behind the Golden Gate Hotel. The Golden Gate Hotel was shut down a couple of months ago. The police were down in the sewer last week cleaning out the scum. That's the two-legged kind. Apparently some drug dealers were doing business in the tunnels below the street. I heard a deal went bad and someone got killed. Most of the fences and gates around the neighborhood are more symbolic than utilitarian. The title to this warehouse has been passed around more times than a 50-cent piece. Right now it's owned by Acme Storage. I guess they have to keep this door locked now that people are storing their stuff here. It's all locked up. I guess this letter didn't quite make it into the mailbox. Uh-oh. Moral dilemma. To mail or not to mail? That is the question. This mailbox used to be located by the Slice of Heaven. Federal discrimination laws require that it be moved to a new location on the first of every month. I may regret this the next time I'm eating dog food for breakfast, but right now it feels pretty good. That door will take you inside Rook's pawn shop. Some unlucky soul lost his wallet. So, my landlord dropped his wallet, and it's full of cash. Of course, I could return it. The bank's never open, and the ATM machine, of course, is broken. Go figure. Smells like Louie's got a batch of his special chili simmering in the kitchen over the bruin stew. The electronic shop. I have to laugh every time I think about all the free stuff I picked up with my bogus electronic shop credit card.
Hold it right there, you sneaking piece of slop.
Hello, Nilo. Good to see you, too.
Ain't we polite today? Strolling in here like some kind of sunbeam from heaven. Tell you what, fork over the money you owe me, and I won't kick your butt all the way out into the street. I guess you don't count so good. You owe me 2,100. Ah, that's more like it.
Well, now that we're all square, can you take a look at a photo for me?
No comprende.
I said I can use your help.
I heard what you said. It's just my meter ran out. Of course, you see no. So, what's on your mind? Nope. Nope. What are you asking about me for? You want to ask me out on a date?
Recognize the man in this photo?
Yeah, I've seen him before.
What can you tell me about him?
He used to stay here. Gone now.
Which room did he stay in?
Hey,
What name did he use when he signed in?
Matthews. Tyson Matthews.
Okay. Well, thanks for the help.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine. P-break. We only stayed here a couple of weeks. Paid up front for 2 months. But he's too late to get a refund. Never heard of him. Ah, nicest guy on the street. Me and him, we talk the same language. I'd like to wipe the smile off that fat guy's face, but he ain't a bad cook. I got a few things I'd like to teach that Chelsea, if you know what I mean. Look, as long as you pay the rent, I don't care if you're the Queen of freaking England. I ain't familiar with that name. Nope. Never heard of him. Yeah. They turned that place into a storage unit. I was thinking about buying it, only I was a little short on capital. I've been there a couple of times. The drinks are watered down, the service sucks, but the singer, she's a nice piece of work. I'm getting tired of you asking about things I ain't never heard of. She's the one who sings over at the Flamingo. She's been in here before. I got a few things in mind for her.
Apartment A is through the door by Nilo's desk and up the stairs. Nilo's had a hard time keeping tenants, so Malloy was probably the last person to stay in the room. Hopefully I'll find a lead once I get inside. I'm not really sure what this painting means, but it's probably obscene. Nilo uses this lamp when he looks at his special magazines. This is where most of the residents come to get their mail. I have mine delivered right to my office so Nilo doesn't get a chance to spill on it. Nilo must have found these magazines in the dumpster out back. The only magazines he pays for are the naughty ones. The vid phone's busted, but Nilo won't put an out-of-order sign on it. That'd just cut into his profits. These paintings are simple, elegant, and tasteful. They must have come with the hotel when Nilo bought it. This piece of notebook paper looks like it's been used for a coaster. It looks like Nilo's in for a busy and productive day. This section in the newspaper contains some kind of contest. It says to fill out the crossword puzzle and send it in. First correct entry received will win $100. Could be worth a try. This mail drop box adds a nostalgic touch to the lobby. With my luck, the crossword puzzle's right, but it'll get lost in the mail. Nilo says he buys these girly magazines for the articles. Unfortunately, he's usually reading them upside down. The only thing in that storage closet is dust. This door leads to the upstairs apartments. The only thing in that Oh, this painting must be called Sam and Max Hit the Semi. These boxes are full of Nilo's girly magazines. If you ever caught me checking them out, I'd be out on the street. Nilo says there's a naked woman hidden somewhere in this painting, but I think Nilo could find a naked woman hidden somewhere on a nickel. No wonder Nilo hung a painting over this fire alarm. Looks like it's been permanently disconnected. So, this is where Malloy stayed. The beginning of the trail. What a scumbag. Nilo knew I couldn't get into the apartment without the code. Now he'll probably want to charge me a few $100 for it. At this rate, I'm gonna be broke again in a hurry. I don't make a policy of getting to know my neighbors. The Ritz is the kind of place where people stay when they don't want to be found. Chandler Avenue recently got a city-funded cleanup. A gentleman of the old school like myself would never enter the forbidden zone. I'd run naked through a nuclear reactor core before I'd set foot in there.
What do you want? I'm busy here.
There's something I forgot to ask you. I figure I paid you enough already, so you owe me.
Well, you figured wrong. You're off by about $500.
Come on, Nilo. You've cleaned me out already. I haven't even got enough money left to buy food.
Oh, boo-hoo. Here, let me give you some back. Ah, you didn't say the magic word. What a sap. So, what do you want to know? How to spot a sucker a mile away? Sucker a mile away, I like that.
Nilo looks around like he's about to sell some government secret and then lets me take a peek in his special notebook. The code is 4827.
Como esta, pea-brain? Must be nice now you don't need to sneak in through the back. So, what do you want? Ah, got a whole new respect for you, snotface.
It's all locked up. Wherever this ladder goes, it's got to be better than down here. Danger, contaminated area. No, contamination around here? I think I'll let that box float right where it is. I think I'll let that box float. Well, this box looks like it hasn't rotted through yet. A chisel. Maybe someone's been down here doing some prospecting. Play-bub. Oh, gross. This magazine is filthy. I'll never get all the sewage off it. I think I'll let that box float right where... Looks like a cave-in has this area blocked up. How appropriate. Oh, great, another empty box. Wasn't anyone in charge of removing these things? This looks like the kind of money belt the drug dealers are wearing these days. I think I could put this money to a more productive use than any drug dealer could. billboard for llama cigarettes featuring llama claws. Can't believe how much money these big corporations waste on stupid advertising. Man, I could sure use a smoke. I used to play basketball 2 or 3 times a day when I was younger. Now, after I watch Jeopardy, I need a nap. I have to admit, Rook has an enviable collection of trash cans. It looks like trash to me. Whatever's on the end of this power box must be out of commission. This gauge is as dead as my love life. The garbage can to person ratio is pretty high in this part of the country. I think it's about 4 to 1. Louis uses a rain gutter just like this one whenever he brews a pot of his special Armageddon blend. This is the back door to Rook's pawn shop. The garbage can to person ratio is pretty high in this part. Clint's old studio apartment. It's all locked up. My head feels like it's full of molasses. Yeah, another swell case for San Francisco's favorite punching bag. I suppose the fact that someone knocked me out must mean I'm on the right track. Whoever hit me did a thorough job. Must have interrupted his search of the apartment. Maybe that means he overlooked something.